What are your names?
Ronnie Anderson.
And Ian Sullivan.
And what do you guys do?
I'm an art gallery owner, dealer.
And I'm a full-time artist, and I work here as some of the studio managers at the gallery.
Awesome. So how did you guys like connect?
Would you like me to go? So I believe it was in 2016 or 17, we were doing an exhibit called Hooligans, and it was part of an exhibit that young artists and influencers were organizing, and Ian was a part of that, and we connected on a great level. I respected his art, his enthusiasm and energy, and he just became almost a semi-permanent fixture in the gallery.
That's
That's
awesome.
about how we
Yeah,
How long ago was this?
I'd say it was about 3 years ago
Oh
now.
wow.
Yeah, Ronnie very quickly became my art aunt.
Art ants.
Yeah, we're like best friends now also.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's just the most amazing dynamic.
That's awesome. So what about you? Like when did you start your art career? And how did it start?
Well, drawing since I was 3. I never really thought it was gonna like be a profession until about 19. But I started doing it professionally when I left college, and I immediately just went into it. So started with like independent DIY shows with friends. The mural stuff started to kind of accumulate and become more frequent, and then I ran into Ronnie, and she really helped catalyze kind of everything in terms of self-confidence, and then in terms of just sort of showing my work more
Right.
frequently and
How would you describe your work?
clusterfuck.
Clusterfuck.
There's a lot of inspiration kind of happening all at the same time. It's derived from anime, graffiti, old classical works, and a lot of my favorite illustrators. So it's pretty hard to hone it in, but I'd say it's an illustration-based sort of media with like a graffiti or street art accent.
When did you get into this space? Like how long ago?
So in 2015, we launched with the photographer Russell James, who does the Victoria's Secret models, and
Oh,
it was a
awesome.
huge launch. And he kind of obviously wants to segue into a more fine art realm as opposed to being known for the Victoria's Secret. So we had 3 different sections. And one was the Angels, which was interesting because this is a commercial lobby space, so you have certain people in the building, like the tenants, that thought initially that I was doing this sort of nudist kind of photography in their lobby. And it took a little while for people to accept it, but the other sections of it were, he works with Aboriginal artists, and it's just his philanthropy is amazing. So he collaborated with some indigenous artists in Florida as well as in Australia. So we did the combination of those pieces were in the hallway, and then we did the other side as well. So there was 3 different sections of that. It was a huge success, and it was beautifully done. So that was our first exhibit here in 2015. And from there, you know, because the space is so conducive to cultural events, we were able to, immediately after that, I was approached by a woman, Yvonne Grenkovitz, to do the Animation Nights New York. So we were bringing in animators and artists that did virtual reality, augmented reality, a lot of tech art that hadn't really been tapped into yet. And this space has sort of become that kind of a space and more of a cultural hub for the financial district. And we just sort of let it go. I've been very open-minded about having different kinds of events. Like I've allowed young curators to come on board and curate, which was part of this Hooligans exhibit, which was really fantastic. And that's pretty much the philosophy. The building owners are the ones who approached me and said, what can, you know, we want some kind of programming. We want something, you know, not just to be a lobby space that people come in and sit and be bored. This is something that offers something special to people coming in off the street, but also people buy art, you know, through us as well. So it's really a neat concept down here. My philosophy and goal is really much about helping others in community, in addition to selling, but, you know, being supportive of emerging artists, as well as, you know, supporting and bringing on bigger name artists as well. and that's pretty much it. And so we hope to get back on that track. We have this space. The city allotted this gallery, so this gallery will always be here. It's in the city planning. So that's a good news. And so Anderson Contemporary won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And what that will do, I hope, is that for the people in the future who, may lose their spaces because of this, we can do some future collaborations. And I look forward to hopefully helping out people and artists in the future. So
I do think right now is an amazing time for artists and other creatives and people of that sort to sort of go out of their comfort zone, test new things, and then add it back to their original script. So that's what I've been doing with watercolor. I've been doing like actual figurative things with spray paint instead of like more just sort of blended design work. Like it's starting to be more precise. It's just a good time to try and build confidence and then put it out there and see what you get back.
Right. I love that. That's so true. So, where can people, anybody come here anytime to check out the work?
Absolutely. Right now, I believe that in the building, I'm here a couple days a week now.
Right.
There for a while I wasn't coming in, but now I'm in at least 2 days a week. But I don't have to be here. That's another great thing,
Right.
is that that's
Just walk in.
the museum quality. I always have literature up. There's multiple ways of contacting me if anybody has any questions.
I'm also like 10 feet away from this building.
And you're also, I'm also a fairy ride, but
Exactly.
but the building's open. The security guards are lovely. If you just tell them you're looking for the art or looking at the art, they're fine with it. We don't get as many people coming in right now, but for the most part, it is open. I think
We'll be
from
back.
8 in the morning until the
I want to throw a big ass party in here.
Honestly, that's what we were doing really well.
Yeah.
It was going great.
Oh,
But
it's
keep
art though.
children.
What I love about Ian's art is that it's not just graffiti. Like
Right.
I love he has a character, Sin, or Sign. I always say
Right.
Sin, but it's Sign.
Yeah, you change it up. You're very all over the
And
place.
he's just got like the characters are in his pieces.
Yeah.
Are so there's sort of alter ego too of
Right.
him growing up in New York City, but I think that element to it, I'm drawn to that.
Right.
I'm drawn to the cityscapes, the details. I think so. It's not just the graffiti and finding the words in his art. He just has definite distinctive, cool.
Look at you, Ian, crushing it.
He
Very
really
flattered
is.
right now.
He really
I'm
is.
glad I have
Yeah.
the
He's
mask
doing
on.
great.
I'm serious. That's very flattering.
It's the truth, though. You talk about Distort being humble. Ian's the most humble.
He is, yeah.
There's a
Friendly.
reason why he's here and part of this gallery and this family, because he's just not only is he ridiculously talented, he's a very special person.
Oh,
also
you guys are
have-
so cute.
I also
Family.
have all the art.
What?
I install everything.
Oh, you're the guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's my.
It's
bitch.
really exciting though.
He's your bitch, yeah.
Honestly, for lack of better words,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any last words? Well, not last words, but you know what I mean.
No.
Any positive words?
Any positive words?
I do think this space will be one of the only spaces that can actually function properly, given the amount of square footage it has.
Right.
So, judging by what I've heard with other smaller spaces being open to about 25 people at max, we could very easily facilitate 25 people in the space. So, I personally, and I know Ronnie does too, have a lot of faith in this space to move about this space.
Come and see the artwork. Everything is still for sale. All of that can still be promoted. But as far as doing an actual show and in having people come back again, I'm hoping to do something in, maybe end of October, November. We'll see.
Well, keep me posted.
And I just have
Thank
to tell
you.
you, thank
Yeah.
you. for
Thank
coming.
you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
These
This
are
was
good
great.
questions, man. Thanks so much.
My
This is
pleasure. Yeah, thank you. This was great.